my trading journal, I'll talk about three things specifically. Let's start with critical price points. This is very important. The first critical price point, the most important one, is the low of the inversion fair value gap of this week, August 5th. Then we have the opening price of August 5th. I'm going to study that for the current new week opening gap and the reason why we have a bullish momentum. First, this is the new week opening gap of August 5th. I did not give that a name, but as you can see, the body's respecting that. And current week's opening gap of Monday, 9 September 2024, you can see we traded to midpoint, the body's respecting that, the midpoint, and then we rally up. This is also very important for later on, the Tuesday, 13th of August, new week opening gap high. Then this is also very important, the Friday, 9th of August, new day opening gap high. And then this is also very, very, very important of the new week opening gap. I didn't give that a name. Yeah, I don't know where this comes. I think it's the August 5th. Also, it's this new week opening gap. As you can see, you have the midpoint in here. So August 5th, new week opening gap. This is used frequently. In here we have respecting of the bodies. In here we have also respecting of the bodies, which gives me kind of an indication that we will be going higher for the rest of the week, for the rest of you know what, maybe, probably. Let's see how Monday trades. Then the daily chart, nothing specific in this case. Once again, focus on the low of weekly inverse fair value gap. The daily chart, nothing specific, but what is specific from the daily chart is that we have let me put this on, is that we have a midpoint of previous day range where we traded up to. Those are very specific points, which is also a very specific points is the 4-hour fair value gap high. Once again, I didn't date that. I need to start dating that, which is which is from Friday. Focus on the high, not so much the low. Focus on the high. And now we have the Sunday's fair value gap and the 4-hour chart once again. Now the entry model very quickly. This is the first trade that I took. I'm going to explain that very well in the next couple of slides. And this is the second trade that I took. I'm going to explain that in the next couple of slides as well. Here I'm going to explain it. As you can see, what I mentioned before, let's start below, is the new week opening gap. This is current week opening gap, new week opening gap. Then we have the 4-hour fair value gap high that was formed on Sunday. The most important part is the weekly inverse fair value gap, the low of it. Then a very specific point is the 4-hour fair value gap high, where we just did not trade to all the way, but almost, we got it almost. And then the 50-minute fair value gap high, as you can see, the body's respecting that. We traded up into that. Now there's two trades that I took. These were the two trades. This is the pre-market and this is the AM session. And this is the entry that I took. As you can see, we have 7 AM trading here. We have the buy side taken in here. Then we have a rally lower. We go into a 5-minute fair value gap. We have a turtle soup. We go into this fair value gap, and in the 50-minute order block once again. Let me explain that very well. First, we have the 50-minute chart. This is the Nasdaq. We have an SMT. We see a lower low. On the Dow Jones and the ES, we have a higher high. This is the 50-minute order block. This is 7 AM trading, the 50-minute order block. Take your attention to that. I can already spoil. We have a profitable trade. And I showed the entry model in the beginning, and right now I'm going to explain that in depth. So once again, the 50-minute order block, keep that in mind. As you can see, we have the 50-minute order block once again. This is the 5-minute chart now. We traded upwards. We leave equal lows here. We have equal lows here. We have the new day opening gap of 13th of August, which I mentioned was very important. So we have a point of resistance now. We have the SMT, so we can trust this fair value gap somewhat now. This blue line here in the next slide is going to be green, because why? We're going to put a narrative to this 5-minute fair value gap. Also note please that there was an inverse fair value gap here. I didn't annotate that, but let's just focus on this as of now. As you can see here, we have the buy side. This is the 5-50-minute order block. The buy side here, we have the SMT here. The 5-minute fair value gap. We go into this. This is the blue line that I mentioned. This is a green now because it's a turtle soup. We trade up into that. We respect the bodies of the midpoint of this fair value gap. We trade it lower below the 50-minute order block. Once we trade back up into that, inside this fair value gap, inside the 50-minute order block, we take the short entry. Oh, yeah, it would be satisfying if you could see the price, like, you know, I didn't screenshot that. Now the second trade, once again, annotate the points of resistance. And the second trade right here is this one that I took. I was not very familiar with this price action, and we have 1, 2, 3. I also watched Patrick Wieland or some shit, and then Trades by Matt. They didn't give me really good input, but I could see that Patrick was had a buy somewhere in here, and everybody in the chat was like, I want to buy, and which gave me more input of a short entry here. It went rather fast, as you can see. The previous day we had, the previous couple of days we had accumulation in here, but because it was the time of the day to rally down, that's why it went very, very, very fast. Also, I forgot to annotate the first in the fair value gap that was formed after 9:30, which is this one. As you can see in here, we have the first fair value gap. So this is the drawn liquidity. We can see equal lows here, and equal lows here. This is the entry that I took. Remember the points of resistance, and remember this 4-hour fair value gap, which is the full target. So this gave me a lot of trust when we traded up to the 50-minute fair value gap, and almost not the 4-hour fair value gap. We didn't close this fair value gap all the way down, and we just rallied down, taking partials, of course. And then this is the new opening range gap. We trade not to the 75% of that, and then we trade lower. I expect to see a equal high to form now, and then tomorrow take this out and then go higher, or take the equal highs out and then go lower, and then Tuesday or Friday have the high range day. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like. What is very important, if you are a advanced trader, please let me know what I did wrong or what I missed. That would really help me a lot. And if you are a beginner trader, if this seems a little bit overwhelming to you, please ask me questions. I learn a lot by teaching. So please give me some questions and give me some points of things that I need to focus on. Thank you very much.